Do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be saved? Do you want to be redeemed? Do you want to be made whole? Jesus is the right prescription. The reading today from Mark, it moves us very quickly to movement toward the cross. It seemed like just a few weeks ago we had this nice little scene by the river where Jesus is walking and you can hear the birds singing and the guys fishing, and Jesus says, "Come follow me," and they drop their nets and they go follow Jesus. Well, ramp this up a bit. Now you've got 3 years of following Jesus with the disciples. You've heard Jesus, well, you, me, the disciples. They're getting it firsthand, and we're hearing it filtered through not only centuries, but also through our own experience, and I'll talk about that a bit more. But we've got Peter. Don't you love Peter? He has been listening to this guy for 3 years. Peter has given up his home and his family, and he's followed Jesus. And Jesus has been preaching some mighty kind things, good things. He's also been preaching some mighty harsh things. One of them, that Peter he's listening to this, and he just has had enough. He listens. He understands what's being said. And that's what got him. He understands what Jesus is asking of him. There was that first, "Come follow me," and now here's the second one that occurs. You and I, we are the crowd. We are the disciples. When the author of the gospel said they spoke to the crowd of the disciples, you put yourself in there. That's us. He's speaking to us. That's getting into the word, getting into the story. So, what are some of those harsh sayings of Jesus? Oh, come on. Love your enemies? Don't you find that a little irritating? Drop everything and follow me. Drop it all. Let the dead bury the dead. If you don't hate your mom and dad and brother and sister and everybody, that's right.
Lose your life.
Lose your life. Lose it. What else? Judge not lest ye be judged. Boy, that takes the fun out of a whole day, doesn't it? That's our favorite pastime. Turn the other cheek. Oh, that's just nail them. What else? Oh, forgive. Oh, gosh. Don't ask me to do that. Take, eat. This is my flesh. Are you kidding me? Some of them turned around and said, "I'm out of here. I'm not going to listen to that." What would you do? You hear it. Love your enemy? Oh, man. He says, it's pretty easy to love those that love you. That's pretty simple. Oh, I can do that. Or love little kids. Or dogs and kitties. Yeah, I can do that. Well, what about those people that don't like me? What about those people that I don't like? I can't stand them. You're asking me to love them? Oh. Are you getting a sense of what's happening here? Then Jesus has the audacity. He has the gall to say, listen, the Son of Man has got to suffer. Peter's saying, that's not the way I read the book. What I read here, Jesus, is that you are going to ride in here on some big horse and you're going to clean this mess all up. You're going to make everything right. We're going to live happily ever after. The gospel's written by Disney. I'm sorry. Let me find my place. Pardon? Say. Oh, it'd certainly be done by overlook. Yeah. Well, because there's a lot of things that we overlook. We casually overlook these tough sayings, and Peter's been listening to them. They're sinking in. Love your enemy. Oh man, don't judge. That's a favorite. There are shows that do that. That's great. And here it is. The Messiah is going to suffer, and he's going to die and be raised up again. Are you kidding me? You're crazy. That's what his family thought of Jesus, right? He's crazy. Peter's thinking the same. They must have been talking. Man, this guy is off. This is weird. You're going to suffer? That's not the way it is. Who wants to suffer? Do you want to suffer? Oh, we take drugs for that. We don't want to suffer anything. We don't want to think about anything. We don't want to be discomforted in any way, shape, or form. Because that's who we are. Who wants to do that? Who wants to go through some kind of pain? Who wants to do any of that hard work? No, just give me a pill or something. Right? Isn't there a pill for this? Work, exercise, walk. Oh! Come, follow me, walk. Oh! So Peter thinks he's an advisor to Jesus. Right? Hey, JC, I want to talk to you. It's like he pulls him aside. He's going to give him some advice. Let me tell you how to pray. Let me tell you, let me tell you what to ask for. We're not going to ask for any pain or suffering. What is wrong with you, man? He's had enough. I've had enough thinking about this forgiveness stuff and this loving enemies. I've had enough. I want a leader that's going to tell me it's going to be all right. I want a leader that's going to tell me it's all peaches and cream. Parsley, sage, rosemary, thyme. As the song goes. That's what I want. And what does he promise? Deny yourself. Take up your cross and follow. Peter seems to think he's going to do the advising and the leading. I'm going to pray, and then I want it done my way. Yeah? And if it's not done my way, like Frank says, if it's not done my way, that's the highway. If it's not done my way, there must not be a God. Because when I pray, I want to be made all better. This is a very difficult thing. And it is good that we reflect on it during this time of year. So kind of annually, we look at what it means to be a follower. We look at what it truly means to take up our cross daily and follow Jesus. But who wants to do that hard work of reflection and thinking and praying for others? That's tough. That's tough. It is tough. I don't sit at home, watch TV, and surf the net. Go out and make visits. Look at homeless people. What fun is that? We don't want to open up the food pantry. Let's just hang around. I want to do something else. That's a lot of work. That's bother. Really? Really? That's a lot of work. I can't read that. I can't study that word. All my family, I haven't liked my sister in like forever. That's not true. But some of us, we get to where we don't want to be bothered. We think it's too much trouble. And Peter had had enough. Now you're going to tell me that the way to redemption is through suffering and self-denial? You're no fun at all. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? We've heard it. Well, I'll give up chocolate and TV. Well, I don't do either anyway, so it's kind of easy. You know? Have you reflected on your walk with the Lord? Are you a follower or are you an advisor? Oh, I've done the prayer thing, you know. I've asked Jesus into my heart, and I'm going, I know that. I don't have to do anything else. Oh, really? Huh. You think it's all just like that? Huh? Maybe. It's got to be on the way, I suppose. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. We need to remember that we are invited to follow, not advise. We're invited to be faithful. We're invited to be humble. We're invited to find ourselves by losing ourselves. And that's not a psychological statement. That is, you know who you are because you are Christ's. You belong to God. That's how you find who you are. Beyond that, now that's something you need to work out. How do you spend your time? What is your priority in life? What are your priorities in life? Jesus says there's one, and that's God, that's Him. And you love God, you love your neighbor. And what you do is on the behalf of God, on behalf of neighbor. What is it you do beyond that? Ooh, now he's getting personal. Good, 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 because it is uncomfortable. And I'm not asking you to do any reflection I'm not doing and thinking about. That's this time of year. You put on the ashes. You think about what it means to be a follower. We've seen the happy stuff, you know, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But then what does it mean, though, to really do the hard work of soul reflection? What does it mean to do the hard work of love of neighbor? To actually take those hard sayings of Jesus and try to understand them, try to bring them in. Forgive? Oh, man. To let it go? To not judge. That's my favorite. I like that. Kind of. Because there will come a time, I promise, there will come a time where you're going to stand in front of the one who has suffered and died and trusted beyond death in God. It's a promise. That's what's going to happen. We're going to stand in front of that one. And he's going to say, he's going to ask us. Well, maybe he doesn't even have to ask us anything. What is going to be your response? How did you spend your time? Who did you give your life for? That could be a very uncomfortable conversation. Yes, there's grace. You banking on that? You know what the banking system's like. Are you banking on that? Good. I wish you luck with that. This is a time, this 40 days, this journey, this is a time to reflect on what it means to be a follower. Not an advisor, a follower. This is what it means to be on the way, on the journey. Are you on the journey? Are you denying yourself anything? Do you really want to be whole? Do you want the cure? I know what you're asking. Follow. Do the work. Let the work work you. Let that love of God form that great pearl that you are. Let the grit work. And that's good. That is good work. You started here at this table. This is a chance to come and take in the holy, take in the presence, the very presence, body, symbolically the body and blood of Jesus, to be made whole, to be forgiven. Those things that irritate, upset, maybe even define you, those things that keep you from being fully in the Lord, fully of the Christ, born again, made new of the Christ, just leave them. Just leave them. Think about that. Think about that. This is a chance to bring yourself, your living sacrifice, your living offering to the altar, leave it, and then take on the Christ. Again, made new.